So there's actually no need to be on every social media platform. I think, really, regardless of the phase you're in when it comes to your content creation journey, there can be pressure to post on every social media platform: Instagram, TikTok, X, LinkedIn, so on and so forth. But I found that, let's just talk about new creators for a second. I think it's within your best interest, especially if you're starting completely from scratch as a content creator, to choose one platform to put all your focus on, put all your time and attention and energy on into that one platform. And the reason I think this is because content creation takes a lot of energy and it takes a lot of work, mentally, physically, emotionally. And when you're trying to learn so many things at once, trying to apply what you're learning to multiple social media platforms can make this process feel worse than it needs to. I think there's true beauty in focus as content creators. Now, let's say maybe you're not a new content creator. You've been doing it for some time. Some time is relative, but you may now feel the need, oh, I need to work on my Instagram content strategy. I've been doing YouTube, but I need to put Instagram into the fold. Okay, now I need to put TikTok into the fold. Whenever you're at that crossroads and you really feel like potentially adding in a new platform, I think there needs to be some things you need to consider before putting in the effort to post consistently on additional platforms from your main one. So later on in a second, whenever I get to it, we can talk about what are some of those things you might consider. But I want to kind of come back to the newer creator or the beginner creator. Um, the reason you want to focus on a platform, on one platform in the beginning, is because what is an analogy that I can use? Focus on one platform in the beginning. I don't know. An analogy is not coming to my mind, but essentially, when you build up your personal brand on one platform, I mean, really grow it, truly grow a dedicated audience. No, that doesn't necessarily mean waiting till you have 100K this, 100K that, but waiting till you generally feel like you have 1,000 true fans. And if you're unfamiliar with that concept, 1,000 true fans means that whatever you do, whatever you post, there's a thousand people that are going to show you support and show you love in some sort of capacity. So I think getting your 1,000 true fans from one platform will make it so that you're more successful when you decide to expand your brand to another platform, that those people will follow you over to this new platform that you're trying to be on. I think that spreading yourself thin is a real thing. And when you're spreading yourself thin as a beginner, as a newer content creator, you may find yourself dealing with some like emotional stuff in terms of like not seeing traction on YouTube. I'm not seeing traction on Instagram, but IG's not, or TikTok's not, like, you find yourself less being in a state of satisfaction because there's always something. Like, even when you focus on one platform, there is always something that you can do. But imagine the frame of mind that you're constantly living in when it's like you're juggling all these platforms and you're looking for growth on all these platforms on one time. That is emotionally draining. And you have to ask yourself, is that worth it in the beginning of my content creator career? There is multiple people have probably given the advice, oh, start with 2 platforms. But I'm saying, please consider starting with 1 platform. As someone who has recently experienced a major milestone of reaching 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, I want to share with you that I did not go on my IG. If you go to my Instagram right now, Nala Wright, you will see that the last time I posted was in December. I am not active on my Instagram platform, nor am I active on TikTok. I did not try and self-promote on my Instagram or my other social media platforms to get anybody to come over to YouTube and subscribe to me. Majority of the subscribers I have today have come from this platform. And there's true beauty in that. It's nice if you want your friends and family to support you, but at the end of the day, if they're not watching your content, how much does that help? I think grabbing a few friends and family to get you to that subscriber count, I see merit in that. But outside of that, you really have to ask yourself, especially if you're trying to self-promote on these other platforms, is that worth your time? Secondly, as someone who has recently reached an incredible milestone with 1,000 subscribers, I've only focused on YouTube this whole time. I could not see myself trying to be consistent in Instagram stories. I could not see myself creating short form content for IG, for TikTok, and for YouTube. That would not have worked for me. I'm not saying what works for me works for you, but I'm using my own personal experience to give you another perspective to potentially come from. When you spread yourself thin, a saying is coming up for me. I don't know what it is, but it's just like, it's in regard to multitasking. Multitasking has its place, but when it comes to content creation, when you're trying to focus on everything, all those things suffer in some way. But when you give your focus to one of those things, that's when you truly get to channel your efforts and in return reap the fruit of your labor. Let's see what you guys are saying. Abigail Hollis says, I'm trying to figure out which ones to be on and which ones to ignore. Right now, she says, right now, I'm not on any. This is a great point to bring up. Derek says, if you take the time to learn and conquer one platform, the rest should be easy. These are amazing points. I'm going to expand on them. Let's start with what Abigail is saying. I'm trying to figure out which ones to be on and which ones to ignore. 100%. If you're talking to me, I will advocate for YouTube all day. If you are someone in Abigail's situation who is not doing anything on social media or is not active on any of these platforms, go ahead and start with YouTube. Why? If we're talking money, because a lot of us are on here and doing content creation to make money, if we're talking money, YouTube is the platform where you will see the most money. No doubt about it. Why is that? YouTube is the most seasoned out of all of these people when it comes to properly incentivizing their creators to continue to make content, because they have created multiple avenues for a creator to make money if they choose to post content on this platform. YouTube, long form content, shorts is here. Short form, everyone is in a craze and a frenzy about it. Wonderful. But you have to think about history, and history always repeats itself. Long form will never go anywhere. Long form is going to be here for sure 10 years from now, 15 years from now, 20 years from now, because it was here 20, 30, 50 years ago, however long you want to go back. And when you keep that in mind, go the vintage route. That's something that's coming up for me. Go the vintage route. Go the classic route. Put your effort in learning, getting your skills up on the platform, on the format. If we're talking long form versus short form, on the format that has always been within media, regardless of social media, movies, TV shows. How many of us remember the early days of Netflix and that binge watching we would go on? What was your favorite show that you would binge watch in the early days of Netflix? How many of us remember Redbox going to get a DVD? This is before we could not access it online. How many of us remember Blockbuster? Why have these things maintained? Why is Hollywood still around? Did Hollywood come about off of 10, 15-second videos? No. So though short form has its space, in my opinion, you're better off putting your time and your effort in learning how to make really, really, really good quality long form videos. That's going to be a different journey for everybody. It may take you 3 years to learn how to make a good long form video, but don't shortchange yourself trying to create short form content. And what I mean by that is, to be honest, I remember when I took my hand at TikTok. I was never a fan of TikTok back in the pandemic. And honestly, I sometimes I'm like, wow, I missed out. I thought it was just a platform people were dancing on. I said, what does that have to do with me? I didn't know all the search related, like you could learn different things on there, but that's neither here or there. I took my hand at TikTok, and when I had tried it out, was creating content on there, I was getting this major dopamine kick because TikTok, you're bound till this day. I have TikToks. I have like a TikTok that did 100K. Did that ever happen on Instagram? Did that ever happen on YouTube? Did that happen anywhere else in social media? No. And TikTok has the ability, short form content has the ability to make you think you're doing something, which it could be true that you are, but the results you see from short form is different. Like you could be a short form, you could be putting all your time and energy into short form content because that's what you're being told is the route to go. I'm going to let you know right now, when you do start focusing on long form, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be in for a rude awakening because people are not as receptive and people are not as giving in terms of their viewership, in terms of their engagement to your long form content. So to my point, why not go ahead and learn how to make videos that perform well, that are long form now? There is a learning curve. If you just start now, get through the hardness now, you're going to find yourself in a better position as a creator in the future. Derek says, if you take time to learn and conquer one platform, the rest should be easy. And I 100% agree with him. When you learn long form content, you're teaching yourself a skill stack that is going to be easily transferable to the other stuff, to the other platforms. So for me, it's like, that whole killing a bird with 2 stones. I don't really like that because it sounds a little bit, but you get what I'm trying to say. You're working harder, you're working smarter, not harder by just going in the beginning and eating the frog, doing the hard thing first, which is creating long form content. Lavender says, trying to focus on 3 platforms instead of just focusing on one is part of the reason I'm restarting this YouTube journey 3 years later due to burnout from trying to do too much in the beginning. Ask yourself, are you doing too much? Like, really sit down and ask yourself, you don't have to do it right now, but maybe when you get out of this live or you're done watching this replay, are you doing too much? You have to really assess sometimes. Sometimes we are running too quick and we are getting ahead of ourselves and we're not doing assessments. In any other job that you have, you are evaluated, whether that be every 3 months, every 6 months. Your boss, whoever's in charge, they take a look at what you're doing and seeing is it is it helpful at all? Like, are you still meeting the targets that you need to meet? And as a creator, as truly someone you're your own boss, you need to sit down with yourself and do an evaluation, do an assessment of the output you're putting out, trying to be on 3 platforms at once. Maybe you're like Lavender and you're spreading yourself thin and you can't find that rhythm. Maybe you're like Lavender and you're finding yourself burnt out. Maybe it means that you need to take it down. You need to shave off a couple platforms and just focus on one thing. It would not hurt you to make the choice now and make the pivot now, because in 3 months, I promise you, go ahead. You don't have to look at my journey. You could pull examples from your own surroundings in your own life, but 3 months of focus got me nearly 500 subscribers. 3 months of focus made me comfortable to talk to the camera the way I'm doing right now. So it's just like, we can't be afraid to make pivots. We can't be afraid to assess ourselves, especially if it's going to result in a positive outcome at the end of the day. Keshna's here. She says, hello, it's Club YouTube. Yes, guys, we are here late. It's Sunday night, but we're getting into it and we're really trying to understand the fact that we don't need to be on every platform at once. Teriel, oh, I'm saying your name right. She says, I thought about TikTok and Instagram, but it was too overwhelming. I decided I like YouTube the best and have been a consumer on YouTube the longest, so I chose to focus on it. I think this is amazing. I think this is amazing. Here's the gem with what's on the screen right now. Teriel said, I've been a consumer of YouTube the longest. When you have consumed content, honestly, you're training you're learning things. Even if it doesn't seem like that in a second, you're learning how it works on here. Teriel, she can go back and see, however, whenever she started watching YouTube, let me turn off my heat. It just always distracts me. Whenever she started watching YouTube, she can assess like, okay, this is how they used to do it back in the day. This is how they're doing it now. Like, I've seen so many formats of different types of videos. I've seen so many different ways that people deliver their message. I've seen a lot. What is the platform you've been the biggest consumer of? You have a special advantage from the person who's out here trying to be on every platform. When you're on every platform, how much content can you consume? And oftentimes, this is like a little bit of a side tangent, but sometimes we get so caught up in consumption, we're not creating. And you get so caught up in consumption because you're trying to see, all right, what's going on IG, TikTok, YouTube. I need to keep up with everything. So I'm making sure I'm creating relevant content. If you focus on one platform, you only have to be a primary consumer of that platform just so you stay abreast to what's going on. I just wanted to dive into what's on the screen right now, because I really feel like it can give guidance to someone trying to figure out, okay, then what platform do I focus on then? I'm not saying don't test things out. How can you know if you don't try it? How many times have we heard our parents when we were younger, one of them say, oh, just try it. You don't know. You can't say it's nasty if you haven't tried it yet. I know my parents told me that all the time because I was a picky eater. I didn't want, if it looked nasty, I had nothing to do with it. We can't just judge a social media platform by its cover and then automatically assume it's not for us. I enjoyed TikTok content. It was cool to create. but they don't pay what YouTube pays, so I'm not focused on that right now. Eshna says the doom scroll. I try not to get on there. I post and ghost, but my main two platforms right now are YouTube and Instagram. The doom scroll. If you spend more time scrolling than creating, again, back to that evaluation word, it's something to think about. Someday it seems to be happy that she caught us live. Yes, we're getting into it. If you're still here someday, I love to hear what you guys have to say. When I do a live and I have a topic, if you have advice, if you have your 2 cents, you can always deposit it into this bank. I'm always willing to incorporate the words of wisdom that you have for someone tuning in that needs guidance, needs to hear some words to help them make some decisions on something. Angel says, true, I feel more comfortable creating YouTube videos because I'm always on YouTube. Whereas with TikTok, I feel so. Are you okay? With TikTok, I feel so lost. I noticed it was because I barely consumed TikToks. Exactly. Exactly. And again, this is just trying to see what you like as a consumer. Here's another reason why that's a good way to find out what platform should you focus on. When you're a true content creator, not someone who does this for fun, not someone who's just doing this as a hobby. I don't really have much words of wisdom for those kinds of creators because I'm not that kind of creator. When you're someone who's treating content creation as a business and really trying to build something, not only get money, build an audience, build a personal brand from this, just like with any regular business, you need to be in the minds of a consumer. When it comes to social media, you need to be in the minds of the viewer. So if you consume mostly YouTube, if you consume mostly IG, whatever it is, insert what's appropriate for you, you have more understanding of the psychology of the viewer for that particular platform. And you need to use that psychology to inform your decision making on how and what type of content you create. So that's a great point, Angel. Yima, how do I pronounce your name? I love your branding on your channel, by the way. Hey, girl, I just went viral and I'm putting my energy into YouTube way more now. It was so sudden. Yes, you did just go viral. I don't know if you went viral again, but I know you recently had a viral video. Um, she says, I'm putting my energy into YouTube way more now. So I see your point that you're making. If you are spread thin right now across many platforms, in your assessment period, take a look at the platform where you're receiving the most attention. We'll just call it for now. Take a look at the platform where you're receiving the most attention. Did you go viral on YouTube? Did you go viral on TikTok, IG? Insert that for yourself. That could inform which platform you focus on. But let me throw something on you. Let's say you went viral on TikTok or IG. I just voiced that I think if you're going to choose one platform to focus on that you haven't already built and established yet, I think that should be YouTube. Say you went viral on YouTube or IG. What I would do is I would take a look at the content that went viral for me and see how can I bring that content over to YouTube and tweak it to make it appropriate for this platform. Because this is a platform where I genuinely feel like you can create the most from, you can build the most from. So use that viral moment on IG, TikTok, X, LinkedIn, wherever folks are at, and ask yourself, okay, how do I make this appropriate for the YouTube space? Oftentimes, what you'll find with a viral piece of content from a short or something, a short form video, sometimes you may find there's actually no way. Like, I don't want to create content on this short or this reel that I made. That's fine. But then what you can do is, how did you deliver that piece of content? You could take a look at your delivery, the format it was in. Something about that worked with viewers. So how can you bring that and intertwine that with your YouTube content? Ryan, I don't know if you're still here, but he says, hey, caught a stream. Hope your channel is moving in the right direction. Make sure to enjoy yourself. When it comes to my channel, the great blessing that I've given from God is I could talk about content creation. I could talk about business. I could talk about YouTube for days. And I genuinely love it. So to Ryan's point, I'm enjoying myself. Are you guys enjoying yourself? I hope you are. Ema. Okay, Ema, thank you. I'm just going through what's going on in the chat right now. And we'll get back to whatever I'm talking about. How about the short form platforms that have gone away? Vine, Periscope are the two that comes to mind. I remember when TikTok came out, I kept calling it Vine. I would say jokingly, I'm about to make a Vine about this. I loved Vine. Who else loved Vine? Vine was a moment. I was in high school when Vine came out, and it was just cute. I remember, like, I wish I could bring up, don't make me go back into the archives. I will go back into the archives. I was at an internship one summer when Vine came out, and the building was so cute. I made myself a little Vine, you know. That was a different time of life. So about the question, how about short form platforms that have gone away? All I could say about that is history always repeats itself. Vine didn't work out, but TikTok is Vine. If you ask me, it's a reincarnation of Vine. Vine obviously worked. Vine was obviously successful, but someone said, okay, 6 seconds, that's a little bit too crazy. Things are, you just, that's a little bit too much. What can we do? I truly believe whoever created TikTok was inspired by Vine. How could they not? And then the fact that they've gone away just shows that, just like with fashion, social media is cyclical. I think I'm saying that right. Cyclical. Things falling in and out of popularity all the time. I was watching a video, and I'm actually going to play a clip from it, but I was watching a video, and the creator informed me, guys, that photos are coming back into popularity. You guys have been on TikTok, right? It was like late last year, late 2023, when the carousels came about on TikTok. I'm like, oh my God, here they go. What you have to understand is these social media companies and these platforms are companies, they're businesses, and they're on a higher level. They are in competition with each other. They are competing. If you are familiar with Gary Vee, if you're not, that's okay. But he talks about we are in the attention economy. These platforms are competing for the attention of us, whether that be attention of the creator to make the content on their platform or the attention of the viewer to watch the content on the platform. They all want to be the best. They all want to have as many people as possible on that platform because that's how they make money. It's a business. So, of course, they're going to be in competition with each other, of course. So, I bring that point up because when I seen on TikTok and the people was doing the, what is it? The carousels on TikTok, I'm like, this is just TikTok saying, yeah, Instagram, I don't care about your little pictures. We could do that over here too. And you know what? The people on TikTok is going to eat it up. They're going to love it because it can be exhausting to create a TikTok. Why not? Let's gather up all our aesthetic photos, put little captions on them and keep it pushing. Till this day, you could scroll your TikTok feed and those little pictures come up. So I'm saying all this to say with social media, whether it's photos, videos, a long video, short video, all of that, just like fashion, things will trend and things will be popular. And I'm looking down because I'm really about to find a Vine to show you guys. I'm pulling up a Vine out of the archives. It's going to take a while. Vine days, what is that? 2012, 2013? I can't remember. Let's see what else. Someday says, "Hey family, don't forget to hit that like button. Thank you." I forgot in lives I'm supposed to tell y'all to hit the like button, but if you can, if you're here, I would appreciate it. If not, that's all right. Uh, Ema says, "Your channel is such an inspiration. I love that you go live so often. I'm going to try to at least do two to three times a week." Yeah, when I'm off of this live challenge, I'm doing 2 to 3 times a week. I'm sticking to the challenge because I told myself I would, but it's very taxing to go live every night. Okay, guys, I'm in 2015, so I'm almost at my Vine. Jakey Wakey says the new YouTube app update autoplayed this live, by the way. Oh, so that's cool to know. Thank you guys for the positive comments that you are mentioning in here. I love that. Liz says, "Hi Nala, I don't feel as inspired to do short form content. My short form videos is clips from my YouTube videos." Let's even talk about that because I've been, you guys don't know this, Nala. Let me see. Is it gonna focus? You guys, you see her? You don't know nothing about her. I'm pulling up the archives. Let's talk about the whole advice that we have been receiving. Create clips from your long form videos. Use Opus Clips. Have you heard that? And create short form clips from your long form videos. Has anybody else besides Liz been doing that? Has anybody else? I haven't tried that yet because I just don't really know like my identity on my other social media platforms, which I think is another thing that we have to speak about because who you get to be on YouTube is so freeing. You could really be, I'm not saying you could totally be yourself on here and you can't on other platforms, but what we can't deny is every platform has a different culture. And when it comes to culture, I think naturally as human beings, when you enter a room or you enter a space, you read the room and who you are, whether that be consciously or not, you're going to adapt to that room to make sure you're safe. That goes back to when we, had to worry about our survival. So with that being said, if you're stretching yourself thin trying to be on all these platforms, you're going to struggle more with bringing like what part of your personality, what part of your identity to bring to the forefront, as opposed if you focus on one platform, you get so comfortable with your online identity in general that, again, I think to Derek's point he brought up earlier, it's going to be so easy to transfer your creative process, your type of content over to the other platforms. What was the next thing I was going to say? Okay, so we were talking about putting clips from your long form videos onto other platforms. And I was saying that I don't know if I want to do that because who I am on YouTube is not who I am on IG. If you did go take a look at my Instagram right now, it's more personal. It's my personal life. And if I did have a content strategy for Instagram, I probably would remain having my page be personal and make a separate Instagram that more coincides with the personal brand I'm building on YouTube. And that's something we could talk about. Because I feel like with IG, a lot of people on my IG is family and friends. And I'm not there to impress them. I don't care if they understand what I'm doing. If you like my type of content I create and you come across me, cool, but I'm not here to shove nothing down your throat or onto your eyes for you to look at. I don't need anything from my family and friends, but to when they see me on the social media street, just say what's up. Do you get what I'm saying? So I feel like if you are trying to in that space where you want to branch out and you do want to be on multiple platforms, consider creating a new Instagram or a new TikTok that more closely coincides with what you're doing on YouTube, for example. And that's the only way I would feel comfortable posting my clips from my long form content because I don't go on IG and do what I do here. It's just something that doesn't happen. So I wouldn't want to cause confusion or feel like I have to explain myself. At the end of the day, every audience on every platform, those are real people. And you have to know the nature of your communities on these different platforms. And for me, this may not be for you, but most of my IG, these are people I saw once or twice, was like, let me get your IG. Don't even know them for real. They're not here for this. And if they are, they'll find it naturally. So that's what I have to say about that. Uh, so Angel says, ah, yes, I would say TikTok is slowly becoming a combination of YouTube with the 10, 30-minute videos and IG carousels. Of course. Of course they are. They need to stay afloat. And if you don't know why they're doing long form, how many ads can you run in a 15-second video versus a 10-minute video? And to my point that I made earlier, a lot of us as content creators who are doing this seriously, if you're doing it as a hobby, what I'm saying is not for you. But if you're doing it seriously, you have to understand like the macroeconomics. That may not be the appropriate word for this, but you have to be able to take a look at things and understand this is a business at the end of the day. Everyone's out here making business moves. You should be making business moves. Understand what are the interests of the platforms as a company. And a lot of them, they got to make money. And especially with TikTok, they were getting backlash for not having a true opportunity for their creators to make money. How can they have a creator fund if they're not making enough money with the ads? I'm not saying TikTok isn't making enough money, but they're not making enough that they want to share with their creators. So they have to do something, right? If they lose the creators, it's going to be a problem. So, yeah, we just got to understand all the different angles that is included with this whole content creation thing. Guys, I'm in 2013. If you're wondering why I'm looking down at my phone, I'm serious. I'm going to find a Vine for you. I'm back in 2013. Oh no, you see, I've been talking to y'all. I probably missed it because I went all the way back on my Twitter. That sucks. I might give up. Come on, I wanted to see the Vine. Oh man. What summer was that? Oh, it was this summer. It's okay. It's okay. I can't find the Vine, but let's enjoy this picture of me with J. Cole. One of my top 2 favorite rappers, if not my favorite rapper. Remember, I was telling you I was at the internship. I took my internship money and I bought the most expensive ticket for this show because I was going to meet that man. He's a real rapper. All right. Anyways, guys. Liz says, I chose YouTube to put my most effort because I'm on this platform the most. On TikTok and IG, I don't have a content strategy. TikTok, I post BTS of wanting to be a YouTuber. Yeah. Yeah. And I think like this just reinforces what was said earlier in the sense of like, choose that one flat platform potentially based off of the place where you are a viewer the most and you're a consumer the most. I have a very unpopular opinion about let's talk about shorts for a second because I'm saying if you choose a platform, choose YouTube. Let's talk about shorts for a second. I do not believe that a content creator, nine times out of 10, there's outliers. I do not believe you should use shorts as a strategy to grow your channel and grow your audience. I do not think you should do shorts and long form on the same channel. If you want to do shorts, I think that you should do it on a separate YouTube channel. Separate those things. And the reason, this is not just little old Nala with only 1,400 subscribers. What do you know? Who are you? What are you talking about? The things that I say often come from the likes of Think Media, the likes of Roberto Blake, the likes of whatever YouTube guru or YouTube educator that you watch. If you search it up on YouTube, should you be doing shorts? There's multiple people with way more social proof than I have that say, as it turns out, it's a bad idea. As it has unfolded, it's not the greatest thing to do shorts and long form on the same channel. Why is that? If you haven't heard it, heard it. Shorts viewers and long form viewers, that's two different type of people. You have to think shorts comes from them trying to compete with IG Reels and them trying to compete with TikTok. That's a specific type of viewer that watches shorts, a specific type of person who just likes to scroll and look at things. And, they don't want to sit with you for a long time. They just want to be in and out. I'm here to pick up my food and I'm ready to go. I'm not sitting in your restaurant. I don't have time for it today. That's the type of viewer that watches short form content. If ads is put into long form content, and you have a bunch of short form viewers subscribing to your channel and you post in long form videos and you're not getting the same type of viewership, it's not going to add up on the dollar amount later on. Your long form content where your ads are placed, your long form content where you truly build a connection, usually with someone on the other side of the camera, that connection can lead to a lot of different things, not just money, but oftentimes it can lead to something like that later in the future. They're not interested. They don't really care. They only want to see your short form content, spend a little time with you, and they're on to the next person. That's a buffet type of person. They just want to nibble, dibble, dabble here and there. And it's not healthy. If we're talking about the health of your channel, many people who've even did numbers, like got 1 million off of shorts and stuff like that. They have seen that's cool. Got 1 million subscribers, millions of views, 23, 50 million. But did it pay me anything? These are experienced creators now that I'm talking about, not new people just hopping onto the platform and finding themselves successful with short form content. People who did the long form was like, no, let me try this shorts out. Had so much experience at long form, they were able to create viral shorts. They had to say and come up and say, I'm not making no money from this. Yeah, I could get paid off of a short, but that compared to what I got paid for my long form and now is hurting the health of my channel. Don't take it from me. You have to verify the things that I say. Search it up for yourself. I wouldn't do shorts on the same channel. I just wouldn't do shorts on the same channel. It could be very beneficial for you as a creator who wants to learn how to do short form content to start a new channel in order to hold your shorts. What you can do is, here's a strategy that I might take because I'm thinking about it right now. Because I'm not opposed to shorts. I love it, but it's just like, what's the point? Let's say you want to do short form content, you want to do it on YouTube, and you're open to the idea of creating a separate channel to do that. What you can do is, let's take what's a name that we can use? Let's make up a character. The character's name is Rose Elizabeth. Rose Elizabeth has a main channel named Rose Elizabeth. Rose Elizabeth makes a second channel called Rose Elizabeth Clips or Rose Elizabeth Shorts or something like that, keeping her keep your main channel name in the same name as your shorts channel. Why is that? You may find short viewers, they're liking your short form content. They may crave more of you. I feel like you'll have a better chance of that person that discovers you through shorts, of finding you, or whatever the case may be, coming across a longer form video from you and be like, oh, I know that creator. I watched their shorts. I would love to see what their long form is about. Now that's a genuine interest from someone that's interested in what you have to say longer than 60 seconds, and you have successfully converted them. And I akin this to in marketing. When you start working with brands, if you haven't already, not to say that I have, but through my research, sometimes brands aren't worried about the sale. They are focused on the awareness. You can create a shorts channel to bring awareness to your brand, which is your main YouTube channel. You don't need to be worried about the just to complete the analogy, you don't necessarily need to be worried about the view per se, because you're just trying to build up brand awareness. So I guess I'm saying, like, your shorts, there'll be less your shorts channel, there's going to be less pressure for the views and the subscribers or anything, because you're solely doing it to bring awareness to your main channel and find genuine people that are interested in your long form content. I think that's a great strategy. And then if your shorts channel does well and you're able to monetize that too, now you have 2 monetized channels. And that wouldn't hurt the pockets, right? It would only do something to help. Liz says, oh no, I already read this. So yeah, that would be a strategy that I would put in place so that you are sticking with one platform. That's why YouTube is the beast. They are the OG for long form. And I guess you can apply this to something like TikTok as well, if you don't want to do YouTube, since they are entering the long form market. But I would separate the stuff and flow with it like that. Someday says, I like this strategy. I like it too. I might do this for myself. I think that'll be fun. And if you create a shorts channel, you have more freedom to express yourself, because it's like who cares? Like you don't necessarily have to stay in your niche. You can share more of your interest on your shorts channel, because one, it's a shorter clip, and it's just to like experiment and just to have a little bit more fun, but still be doing something to build your personal brand online, which is what I'm all about. I'm all about that. Okay, so I had a clip that I wanted to play for you guys. So let's go ahead and play that. Let me get it together. All right, 1 second, bear with me. Add to stage. Let's remove this and let's watch the clip together, shall we? Let me just get all things out the way. I don't want any distractions, but please feel free to ask your content related questions.
Okay, so this key change I'm calling Everything Everywhere All at Once. See what I did there? Great movie. So I'm starting with the biggest change. I'm warning you now that this might feel overwhelming, but I need you to bear with me. We're going to work through it. And I also need you to not shoot the messenger, okay?
Don't shoot, I'm just a messenger.
I'm not the one deciding these changes, although what a world it would be if I was. So Everything Everywhere All at Once is referring to the fact that 80% of adults consume content across multiple formats. So we're talking about long videos, short vertical videos, lives, photos, all of those different content formats which have evolved over the past few years are suddenly peaking. And that leaves us in a very interesting situation, because we as creators, as people who use social media to build businesses, are now facing a reality where our audience wants everything from us all at once.
I want everything.
So how's this happened? Basically, social media sites have been evolving over time and they've been adding on new features, and that has led us to this situation. For example, TikTok are currently pushing longer videos. They are encouraging creators to produce videos which last over 30 minutes, and they're doing this by incentivizing them and offering them more money. TikTok are also rumored to be entering the podcasting space, where you'll be able to host your own podcast using the TikTok app. If you pair these new features in addition.
Okay, I think we watched that a little longer than I intended, but I was watching this video earlier and it did feel overwhelming in a sense of like, there could be creators that feel there's an expectation of me to feed into these other platforms and provide these different types of content. Maybe someone doesn't want to watch my long form. Let me post some pictures, get that picture-based content. Let me make a podcast. You just heard her, all these different type of formats. And I did want to acknowledge that because I went through that before. I felt like, honestly, when I started my YouTube channel, I knew I would focus on it in the beginning, but I had in my mind later on, when I get comfortable over here, I'm going to come up with some strategies for these other platforms. I have changed my mind since, and I'm still going to just primarily focus on YouTube. But to her point of like 80% of audiences consume content in multiple formats. That's what she said. Basically, 80% of audiences consume content in other formats. The good thing about it is if you look at it, we're all coworkers here. Us in the creator economy, us that are content creators, we're all coworkers. Can we just take a moment to look at it like that? And I'm saying that to say that's fine if the audiences are expecting to consume content in multiple formats, but save that for somebody else. Someone else can go ahead and take care of that and create some type of, I don't know, the word that comes to mind is like exclusivity around you. Like, no, you can't get me everywhere. You can only get me right here. And the reason you want to do that is because that's where you get that true love from somebody. They know I could find so-and-so over on this platform, and I'm gonna have to be okay with that. Sometimes as creators, when we feed into this known fact that people, once they like you, they want a whole bunch of you. They want to see you everywhere. They want to see pictures. They want to see this and that. They want to hear you on a podcast. They want to consume you in multiple different ways. They want to consume you in multiple different ways. That's fine. And it's amazing. But we have to pace ourselves and make sure we keep the people wanting more. The other day, I was looking over Rihanna's career because I had made a video. I included her in the video in some sort of way, right? And I remember I was one of those people that was like, yo, Rihanna, come on, where's the music at? It's been far too long. Like, can we get some music? Is that all right with you? I was one of those people. But when I had looked over her career and recognized she started at 16 years old, I was like, whoa, I was in the wrong. You've been in this industry for 25 odd years. You deserve a break. And maybe my math is wrong, but the point is like, she's been doing this nonstop. She deserves a 7-year break at the very minimum because she's put in the work. Rihanna's a billionaire. Let's not forget that. Just wanted to shout that out right there. She came from Barbados. She's a billionaire. But I bring up that analogy and that point to say that I guess I was bringing it up to say, like, now we still crave her music. We're still excited for when she comes back and everything like that. Let people crave you in some sense. I'm not saying, go ghost on your platform and everything like that. I want you to think of that craving in a different way, and that true love in a different way. Like, let people wait for when you're ready to drop your content and be consistent on TikTok. Let people wait for when you have a presence on Instagram. Let them wait. Let them really want it. Do they want it that bad? If they want it that bad, then they'll wait for it. You can always say it's coming. I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna do it on my own time because I'm building a craft here. This is serious for me. You know, Rihanna obviously has taken her craft seriously, and she has gotten to where she's gotten because of focus. She put in the work and she put in the time. Did she drop music and try and drop Fenty and try a fashion brand and try and do makeup and try and do all that shit at one time? No, she didn't. She focused on her music first. Then later down the line, she stepped away from her music platform and built other platforms. And this lady is a billionaire. So I'm trying to pull in all these different things to help you recognize, again, the beauty of focus. Build something first for yourself and go to another platform later. These TikTok and them, they pressure us as well. Come over here. You could be making money over here with us. When it comes to working with brands, they may say, oh, I want this on this platform and this on that platform. And that will ultimately be up to you to decide at that point, okay, if I'm making money from this and they want this from me over here, then I'll do it. But let them crave you. Let the audience crave those different formats from you. You don't have to give everyone everything all at once. Spread it out. This is a career. At the end of the day, this is an income stream that you want to last for many years to come. This is a long game. And sometimes we only think about that when we're sitting here crying over some numbers. But in reality, we need to think of this long game as like, I can't wait until I'm in my TikTok era. I can't wait until I'm in my IG era. And the beautiful thing about that is, let's say you waited it out. When you get on IG and you're consistent, you have a whole body of work over here on YouTube for that person who just discovered you. You've been on the internet for 5 odd years. They had no idea you existed because they didn't find you. But now they found you on IG, for example. They found you on IG. Then they find out you have a YouTube channel. Do you know how crazy that person is going to go nuts? And they're going to fall in love with you even more. And you didn't have to work as hard for them to fall in love with you from IG because you already did the work when you were focused on whatever platform that was for you. Lavender Afternoon says, you can't satisfy everyone, though. That mindset will wear you thin, from my experience. Exactly. You can't satisfy everyone. And I think that's a great addition to the point that we were talking about. Keshna says exclusivity. I like that. Talks with Zaria says, I stopped posting often on TikTok and IG, but YouTube a bit more often. Talks with Zaria, I would encourage that. Real China makes a really great point here. I never forget about creators I truly support, and I always check back. I wait, me too. My OG vloggers I watch, my OG creators, I may not watch everything they drop in that moment, but when I get good and ready and I'm ready to sit down and spend some time with them, I go back and watch their content. I'm always praying for the best for them, hoping for the best for them, supporting them how I can. So there's real power in creating an audience that loves you. I wish I had a better word. Ade Kemi says, I recently came to the understanding that all of my goals are not meant for just right now. I can't do everything at once, and I'm accepting that. Plus, that promotes longevity, in my opinion. Do you want a Rihanna career, or do you want to? I'm not even gonna say a different artist because music is subjective. But do you want? Who's the person that made the song Racks on Racks on Racks? Racks? I don't even know his name. But do you want what is it called in music when it's just like a song that's hot for a moment and then you don't hear from that person again? A one-hit wonder. Thank you, babe. Do you want to be a one-hit wonder? Or do you want a Rihanna career? Do you want a Beyonce career? You name them. Do you want a Jay-Z career? This is our own form of showbiz entertainment. Content creation is its own thing. Do you want to be here for a good time or a long time? You have to ask yourself. Hi, Sky. I'm so happy you're here with us. Sky, please, if you have anything to say on the subject matter, I would love to hear what you have to say, Sky. Yeah, Lavender told me it was a one-hit wonder. Girl with Shelly said, I had to stop posting on Instagram. I just want to focus. I will get back eventually. That's how I feel. I call them my IG family. I love my IG family, and they know that. I remember when I first started my channel, I kept going on my story and saying, I'm sorry, y'all. I've just been so focused on YouTube. I haven't had no chance to be here with you. And it was true. And eventually I was just like, I don't need to be here with you. And I'm going to go away and build this, and I'll come back when I feel ready. I'll come back when I feel ready. They'll understand. And the cool thing about IG, I'm good for taking a break off of IG. But every time I come back, I'm received with open arms. Just love. Like, where you been? You doing good? They just cover me with love. So we can't worry about people, not focusing on every platform, because y'all, it's not even about like y'all don't pay the bills type of thing. But I don't know. What else can we say about it? What else can we say about it? Keshna says, someone I've been waiting to come back regularly, Shirley B. She posted a few videos and been waiting since. People will wait. I think it's a great point to say, like, people will wait. Ade Kemi says, oh my God, I miss Shirley B. I'm not familiar with Shirley B, but that's a great example. Shirley B, Keshna's waiting for you. I have a question here. If we could take a moment, where is the question? Because I encourage you all to ask questions, anything content related. This is Club YouTube. Have you gotten monetized yet? Diaspora daughter of Sankofa. Woo. Asks me. I'm not monetized yet, but by the grace of God, I will be monetized very, very soon. Very, very soon. And live streams have brought me very close to monetization. It has. But someday she second the little comment I made about ghosting. People love my ghosting. They think I think they romanticize my absence. I like to think that about people too. Now I'll go on IG here and there, interact with a few folks. I have my faves, I just want to see what's going on. So I think people are like, oh, Nala, hey, you graced us with your presence type of thing. But I asked Sky to see if she had anything to say on the topic. If you're unfamiliar with Sky Hendon, she's on a challenge to get monetized in 90 days. And that's how I found her. Check her out if you're interested. She says each platform has a different algorithm, audience, and form of content. Reposting is great. Prioritizing more than one isn't great when starting out unless you have a team. I think that's an amazing point, which I haven't brought up yet. A lot of us are solo dolo out here. We don't have no damn team. Now, this would be a whole different conversation if we all just had a team of folks ready to put out our content. That is not, I know that's not where I'm at. And in the future, when it gets that serious and that deep for me, because content with a team, oh yeah, you got to take over. You got to be everywhere if you have a team. But when you're doing this by yourself, like Sky is saying, it's not great when starting out. It's not great when starting out. Ade Kemi says, anyone remember Peak Mill? She recently started posting on YouTube slowly, and I love that she's taking her time to come back to YouTube fully. I think this is a great example to say, like, to the point of people will wait for you. You could, once you really build and prove yourself on social media, you could do whatever you want, and people are going to be patient with you and grow with you truly. Keshna asks, oh, that reminds me, how many subscribers did you have when you started your lives? I had That's a good question, Keshna. I had like 550 or something like that. 550. Do you get watch hours from live streaming? Real China Vlogs asks. Absolutely, Real China Vlogs. I'm not, because y'all, this is my last week of my 30-day going live challenge. So at the last live that I'll be doing in this challenge is going into the numbers. But I peeked at the numbers. Of course, I've gotten 2,000 watch hours from going live. If that says anything for you, if you need 4,000 to get monetized, and I'm telling you I got 2,000, most definitely watch hours you get from live streaming. This is a strategy. The reason I did my 30-day live streaming challenge is because I needed watch hours. And Roberta Blake told me, go ahead and live stream. I have a video about it on my channel, Real China Vlogs. It's one of the first few videos. Nala, do you plan on tackling thumbnails on one of these live streams? I don't really think that I have. I don't think that I never thought that I would be a good person to talk about thumbnails because I honestly feel like I'm still trying to figure thumbnails out. Have I gotten better with thumbnail creation? Most definitely, but I have a slight advantage because my business was in the playground of branding and content marketing. And one of my clients was a graphic designer, and I was genuinely into graphic design. So my eye for graphic design is a bit more trained than a person who didn't have an interest or work in a space where graphic design is widely used or needed. Keshna says, what platform did you use for your website? I use a platform called Carrd, CARRD.co. I believe I spelled it right and I put it in the chat. Talks with Zaria said, I will be applying this to my jewelry company. I wonder what you were referring to exactly, Talks with Zaria. And so since I don't think that I'm really a qualified person to talk about thumbnails, I will share with you guys and if you're watching on the replay, I'll circle back to the topic of this video in a second. If you're done with the video, you're done with the video. But I want to take a moment to answer these questions. It may help you. But what was the video you suggested for thumbnails? One of the best videos I ever watched, and probably one of the most comprehensive videos, if you don't mind. Let me pull it up for you guys so that you can go ahead and search it. Let's see here. Okay, I'm about to share my screen so you can see the video. Oh, so this video right here, how to make a killer thumbnail. This is an amazing, see, it's 30 minutes long. It's a comprehensive video. Comprehensive meaning April Lynn took basically every thumbnail advice video and put it into this video and put it in a really good digestible way. So I would say, take a look at this video from this creator, April Lynn Alter. It has 184K views. It's some good stuff. You can really learn a lot. This video right here is a masterclass in thumbnail creation. But like I said, if you don't have a certain eye for graphic design, your journey to creating good thumbnails will be a bit longer than the person that does. Yes. On the topic of thumbnails, Sky says your thumbnails are good and someone can learn from it. So I think it would be great to do a live stream. I just might need to as well. I'll consider it because I actually don't even know what I'm going to talk about this upcoming week. Derek says, I know you're close to 3,000 watch hours. Not only you would qualify for the first level of monetization at that point. Yeah. So, let me get this off my screen. To the conversation of to watch hours and live streaming and everything like that, I do currently have 3,000 watch hours, but it happens so quickly. It's not in my earn tab yet. So I'm just waiting for that. And I I know the Earn tab, they got a review watch hour, so I'm just trying to keep everything on the hush until I can show y'all how close I am. How do you come up with titles? Do you think that works better when it reads as a thought that crosses someone's mind rather than a formal title? So I'll get into this for a second. I'm a person that is always learning about YouTube. And when it comes to titles, when I started my channel 9 months ago, I didn't understand this about titles. But these days, common YouTube knowledge, right, is like make your title mad search friendly and make it come up in search. I want you to know that's old thinking. Get that out your mind. It's not true. You can do one or two things. If you really want a video to rank in search, make your title searchy like that. You know what I mean? But these days, the algorithm is sophisticated. YouTube has been around for a long time. The algorithm is sophisticated. On the best performing video on my channel right now, I have multiple comments that said, YouTube is reading my mind. These phones are listening to us. How did this come up on my my homepage? I was just thinking about this. A lot of you have probably had that experience. You're going through something, some thoughts are in your mind, and it's just going on, and that video pops up, boom, right on time on your homepage. I don't know how that's happening, but it is happening. And so, with that being said, I create my titles, yes, more as a thought. I create titles as someone has either said it out loud themselves or they're thinking it in that way. What I do is I create conversational type of titles. And also, another point on titles these days, it simply needs to be similar to the subject line of the email. In the subject line of the email, you give them like this is a topic, this is the gist of what it's about. But I make sure to take that subject line thinking thing, but just make it conversational. At the end of the day, social media is about socialization. And also, one of my slight advantages is I was a sociology major. That stuff was very interesting to me. And you have to know how people think and how people socialize with each other. Nobody wants to be feeling like people want to connect. I don't know how to put it. So you want to potentially try a strategy of creating titles where it's like, how would this person say it? So I can make them feel what I'm feeling. And you would have to be in tune with the feeling you're trying to project in your videos. It's not always about the information. Oftentimes, it's the feeling that's given off. Perhaps you've watched this live stream and you're getting a certain type of feeling from me. I don't know how you're feeling from how I'm talking, but I'm obviously, hopefully, it's apparent that I'm passionate about this topic. What is the feeling you want to give off in your video? And when you know that, you can use psychology, sociology, all those types of things to create a conversational type of title. Again, the best performing video on my channel is it's either I put it how the person is thinking, how they would say it, or how I'm feeling and how I would say it. And that's my little 2 cents on the title. Angel says, thanks for the tips, Nala. I'll definitely try to catch more of your lives. Love your content. I appreciate the love, Angel. We are winding down. If the reason I'm going through comments, if you're just entering, I said, please feel free to ask your content related questions, and I'm willing to share my perspective if you're in a situation content wise and you need some perspective. I'll take this question because I believe it's my last one at the moment. And then I'm going to really just tie together everything, really the main, the reason I made this video, the topic at hand for tonight. I'll be circling, just kind of landing the plane, as Sean Cannell likes to say on this topic. Have you considered using the community tab for topics? I have, but I don't know. I love the community tab, and I think the community tab is a great place to connect with your community. Live streaming every day, guys, has put me in a different state of mind. it takes a lot of effort and energy. I haven't had the strength to write a community post, you know? And I feel like if there's a topic that people want me to cover, they could leave it under my video. Like people have asked me different things. I feel like I'll get that information somewhere. But yeah. So let's land the plane and then I'll answer whatever remaining questions you may have content related wise. You don't need to be, what is the title of this? Does anybody know? You don't need to be on every social media platform. You don't need to be on every social media platform. There is power in focusing, especially as a beginner. I told myself I would come back to the person who's not necessarily a beginner content creator, but they've been creating content. They feel they're ready to expand. They feel they're ready to expand their content creation empire and get themselves on a different platform. And what I would have to say to that person is, if you honestly, I might have said it already, but if you honestly haven't truly built something on the main platform yet, consider not expanding your empire just yet. This is a business. And as the owner of your business, as the CEO of your life, you have to know the appropriate time when to pull the trigger on certain things. And especially if you're doing this on your own, you don't have a team, you have to know, if me trying to expand my content empire onto IG or TikTok, how is that going to hurt my main platform? Is it going to decrease my output on my main platform? Because you could find yourself ready to expand your empire, but ultimately damage what you've built already. And who wants to do that? Like I said to you guys early on in the video, I thought I'll do YouTube consistently for 3 months and I'll be ready to get back on IG. I'll be ready to come up with a TikTok strategy. I found why. I'm going good right here. Why put more on my plate than what already exists? When it comes to focusing on YouTube, because that's the platform I think you should focus on if you're not, you could build so much out of this. I'm big on personal branding. Someone asked what website did I use to build my website? Do you have a personal website yet? Do you have a YouTube channel? Are you creating content and you don't have your own website? That's what you should focus on. Not getting yourself on another platform. You should focus on building your personal brand, and building your personal brand goes beyond being on social media platforms. Do you have a website? Are you building your email list? Are you coming up with digital products or some type of thing to monetize the audience you're sitting here pouring in your time, effort, and energy to build later down the line? If you're not doing those things, in my opinion, it's a better use of your time to build those things slowly than to now expand your empire and be up on some other social media platforms. Do you have a list of 100 brands that you want to work with? Have you versed yourself in what it's like to work with brands yet? If you haven't already, there's so many things that you can do by just focusing on one platform. It has nothing to do with going on and expanding your empire in the sense of getting on other social media sites. Build your personal brand. And then I guess the last thing I would say is just like, you don't need to be on every social media platform, but you do need to keep your head, like I heard the saying before, like keep your ear to the streets type of thing. So yes, I may be saying focus on one platform, but don't get lost in the sauce and don't have no idea what's going on these other platforms. The reason I think you should stay in the know about what's going on X, stay in the know about what's going on IG, what's the new features, what are they coming out with, what are they doing over there on TikTok. You should stay in the know about that stuff because, as I said earlier, these companies are in competition and you're bound to find one platform stealing something from the other one. You could stay ahead of the curve, just being aware of what's going on these different platforms. You could stay ahead of the curve because if it's a trend, oftentimes you can go on TikTok and find what's trending. It's just the platform moves a little bit quicker. If you're just aware of what's going on over there, you could find a creative way to bring that energy over to YouTube before other people catch on. So stay in the know for sure, but don't be everywhere. Someone, not being everywhere. You don't need to be everywhere. That's the takeaway. And I watched the video and I love that creator, Jade. She is very helpful to us as content creators. And that video is simply about trends and what's going on. You don't need to be everywhere all at once. You just don't. So I'm just going to answer any remaining questions that you may have that's related to content. Have you considered, I already answered that. Jennifer Y says, how many days left of your going live challenge and how long should we go live for? Like an hour. I'll definitely take some time to share this. I'm stopping on March 30th. I think that's like 7 days from now. How long should you go live for? You want to go live for an hour at least. Why is that? The math about it is if you have at least like 300 to 500 followers or subscribers and you get at least 100 people to watch your live, whether that be like in the live for real or on the replay, that's 100. It doesn't convert all the time to like, okay, one person that watch the whole thing. No, but you're getting yourself more. If it's an hour long, there's more content for a person to watch. What if someone really likes your live stream and they want to watch the whole thing? That's 1 full hour from one person. Imagine if your live streams, what I found with doing my experiment, YouTube treats a live stream like they treat a regular video. They're going to show that live stream to people. And there's people on the internet that want to watch 1 hour live streams because people like podcasts. They like hanging out with content creators. Not everybody wants to consume short form content. So you have to trust in yourself and believe in yourself enough that you can create a substantial piece of content that's at least an hour long and let YouTube do the rest to find people to put that video in front of. If you are unaware, my best performing video is a live stream. So you just never know, Definitely want to do it for at least an hour. Keshan says, I was watching one of your past videos and you mentioned to talk to the person 5 years ago. Really great advice for topics. I agree. That is something that I shared. I think I heard it somewhere. But if you are someone trying to come up with topics for your channel, whatever your niche is, I think this applies to just give you some type of guidance and clarity. Who were you 5 years ago? And if you could talk and have conversations and create videos for who you were 5 years ago, what would those videos be about? This is how I'm able to talk about the things I discuss on my channel so much because I remember myself 5 years ago lost in the sauce when it comes to building an online business, building a personal brand, being effective on social media. And the things I talk about today are the things I would want Nala from 5 years ago to cover. Outside of your husband's support, how are you managing baby and content and household duties? I wouldn't say I'm managing it. What I'm doing is, and this comes from Camilla Ray. Camilla Ray is the person that started the trend of how YouTube changed my life with less than 500 subscribers, my YouTube journey. How many of those videos have you seen till this date? She is the one that started that trend. And I think in that video or a video similar to it, she talks about how essentially she went through a time period where 80%, well, I don't know the numbers, let's just say 80% of her time and her energy went towards her reaching her goal of something on YouTube. I don't know, like she poured herself. It was her, she was trying to get a job, I think, in marketing. So she altered her entire life to do everything that would help her get the goal of getting a job in marketing. She went back to school, got her master's. If she had free time, she was watching content related to getting a job in marketing. You know what I'm saying? So I took that and applied that to my whole life. I'm in a time period where majority of my time is going towards my main goal. And my main goal is to be a successful content creator. I'm a mom, and my daughter is my first responsibility. So I do that. But am I doing it as picture perfect as I would like to? No, but I give grace to myself. I always get grace and favor from God. He works with me all the time. He makes everything happen for me in my life. And like you mentioned, my husband's support is a major part of everything that I'm doing. So I feel supported. And ultimately, personally, in my journey, I feel like the universe and God is conspiring to make everything that I want happen. That's just the way I think. You may be listening to this video and you don't think like that. Okay. I wouldn't know what to say because I don't think like that. I don't think how you think if you don't think the way that I think. Are you following me? The universe and God is conspiring for everything that I want. And you know why that's happening? Because I'm clear on what I want. I'm very clear on what I want in my life. A lot of people, like, you can't ask for something you don't know what you want. Once you get clear on what you want, if I want to keep this in the context of YouTube and content creation, I want to be a successful content creator. I believe that I will be with conviction, and I trust God and the universe to make it happen for me. All I do is keep putting one foot in front of the other. All I do is try to get 1% better with every video. All I do is do the best that I can and let them handle the rest, because it's not for me to take care of everything. And I have lived my life like that for a long time. So the fact that, when you think about it, I've been doing live streams for 30 days. That level of work is basically going to help me be monetized way sooner than when I thought. Did I know that going in? No. All I can control is my output, and I let God and the universe handle the rest. What help you get super clear on your direction? I don't know. I don't know how to answer this question, because entrepreneurship is something that I wanted from a young age. I think to a degree, I have a good relationship with my inner child, or I'm always thankful to my parents for creating a life where I feel like I could dream big. I've always maintained a connection to my dreams and my desires. And through that connection to my dreams and my desires, I've been able to get clear on my direction. I would say journaling. I don't journal as often as I used to, but Erykah Badu, there's always been this little tweet or something from her that circulated, at least IG, like, the power of writing things down. I'm very big on writing down what I want, having some sort of vision for it. That's how I got clear. How can you get clear on something you can't see? And everything we want in life, we not necessarily know the exact vision, but I use the power of Pinterest and different things to create some type of direction for myself and some type of clarity. Also, I've gotten clear on my direction because I failed a lot. A lot of people are afraid to fail. I'm not afraid to fail, because I used to play basketball. So that means I've engaged with a lot of stuff from the greatest basketball players. One of those is Michael Jordan. I wrote an entire paper on his philosophy of failing to success, and you can't be successful without failing. That was back when I was a teenager. So that's embedded in me. I'm not afraid of failing. I'm not afraid to have people see me fail. The quicker you fail, the quicker you'll be successful. So I would say that's how I would answer that question. And I don't think you guys have any more questions for me. I didn't realize I've been on here for an hour and a half, but it's okay. I hope, for the topic of this video, you've gotten some type of value, and perhaps from the questions you received something that can help you on your content creation journey, because that's what I'm here to do. Help you with content creation and, building something for yourself online that can really change your life and change the life of the legacy that you want to, of the people you want to create a legacy for and leave behind for them. So, Liz Seconds, journaling brings clarity. So you guys have a wonderful night, day, whatever it is, weekend, weekday, and I'll see you in my next video. I wish I could edit that out. I never do a peace sign. Please excuse that. Bye.